Hello there. How you doing? Is your build looking like the build in the background right there? Well, here are 10 building mistakes that I'll show you how to fix to turn that into something much more fabulous. So, let's do this. So first off, tip number 1 is adding support. So if you look at this build right here, it's literally a wooden cube. It's already looking slightly better. But however, we can go much further. Here's a small thing you can fix though in the meantime. If you place your door like this, it goes on to tip number 2, adding depth. So the support's already at depth because there's an extra block gap, really adds to the build. So already that's looking much better. Before we move on further, we should add some smaller details. So trapdoors like this, add some much needed detail to the build. Some smaller details. So this was a bit of a larger detail. Is buttons. You might think, oh, it's all useful for redstone, but it's also useful to make your build look way better. You could place them potentially in the corners right here, like that. Just a very small detail. Maybe most people won't notice this, but it really does add to the build. Let's look at this wall over here. This wall, it's looking pretty plain. We could add more supports. That will look cool, but it also might get a bit repetitive. So what I suggest doing is adding windows. Well, I recommend adding panes in particular. Why panes? Because that little gap here adds some much needed depth. And now, with this window added, you can add some supports and it won't look as repetitive. So in the front, we could use the same windows like this. But if you wanted to mix things up, here's another building tip. Fences do act as great window alternative. Something that you might not have considered is the roof. What I recommend you doing is adding a roof made of slabs and stairs. But you might be thinking, why don't you just use oak slabs? So that goes on to another building mistake and a building tip from me. Use contrast. So for example, this wood support here is much darker than the wood oak here. Makes the build pop out. If you used oak, slabs and stairs as the roof, it wouldn't look as good. It could work. It could definitely work if you put some work into it. However, using contrasting materials such as this andesite stairs here can add a lot to the build, yeah. So with the roof, you don't have to place it like that. There's a lot of interesting shapes that you can make. Like the shape I'm making right now, I'm just making on the fly. But if you put some time into it, it can look really great. And yeah, look at that. That only took a couple of minutes, and it's already looking great. So what's next, you might ask? Well, it's already got a lot of contrast, but they can have some more. Some lighter contrast. So for example, the blocks down here, for example, we could switch it from oak to spruce. You may think, oh, it doesn't do much. But yeah, that wasn't the point. Just add some variance in the build. It's already looking great. Now, we're not going to go into the interior in this video. That'll be a separate video. However, there's still additional things you can do. Landscaping or incorporating your build into the landscape is really important. So, for example, look at this. This looks very artificial. Like, it's just a 2-block drop in front of the house. See, like, that very small thing already makes it fit in way better. And additionally, yeah, small path blocks around the house, like in this area, for example, a sprinkle of bone meal can really add some life as well. What about some other building mistakes? Lighting. Look at this. It looks great already, but the torches, they kind of seem out of place. See, lanterns are a great option. My only problem is they're so expensive, early game especially. But you can't place lanterns everywhere. That would be lantern spam now. You can place jack-o'-lanterns in the ground like this. yeah. And obviously it doesn't have to be jack-o'-lanterns, it's just the cheapest option. So getting rid of those torches made the build look much more natural. Let's go to the map. So there's areas, right, where you already added windows, you can't add windows anywhere, etc. But you want to place something there. Flower pots. So if you don't have flower pots, here's what I do. Just place some dirt or grass, it's up to you. Get some trapdoors and just place them like this. Flip them up, voila. So you just got planter boxes type thing. So now you can place like 1 tall flowers there. See like a little support thing here. So that really fills up the back area, doesn't it? But what's next? Well, that's really up to you. You can go much further with this detailing. But yeah, these small tips and tricks really made that wooden cube look amazing. Yes. So we turned this wooden cube into something much more magnificent. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for building with me.